Hi everyone, my name is Tuan, and today I'm going to talk about the Westernized diet in Vietnam and its impact on cardiovascular health. As a Vietnamese international student, I have long noticed how eating habits in Vietnam has changed. Traditional meals, as you can see here in the left pictures, one it's really focused on homegrown, fresh food and vegetables are now slowly being replaced by fast and processed food. This influence is the main factor for the increasing risk of cardiovascular disease. So first of all, what is cardiovascular disease? Well, it's an umbrella term for conditions that affect blood and vessels like this. CVD is largely influenced by lifestyles and poor eating habits. It's one of the biggest factors of that. Well, in Vietnam, where processed food are becoming more common and traditional diets are declining, we are we are seeing a rise in obesity, hypertension, and high cholesterol. They are all risk factors of CVD. So, what is called a Westernized diet? Well, traditionally, the Vietnamese diet has been rich in vegetables. As you can see here, this is a traditional noodle bowls. There are a lot of herb seasoning and lean meats with very minimal consumption of processed food. And yeah, but however, westernization has led to a shift toward high calories, uh, fast food, processed snacks, or pseudo sweetened beverage. So here's a study that I found: cardiovascular disease patterns and their implication for intervention strategies in Vietnam. So this is a table that I took from this articles. Is a cohort study, by the way. The prevalence of cardiovascular disease risk factors in a study population of Vietnamese adults by sex and age group. So let's focus on the most significant factors here, which is unhealthy diet. If you look at this row that which is highlighted here, you will see that it consistently accounts for the highest or the second highest prevalence across almost every age group for both men and women. Well, this is notable because poor diet now is not just an individual choice, it's a population level thing going on here. And these statistics directly reflects the influence of westernized diets, more fast food, and fewer organic fresh meals, healthy ones. So we just talked about the impact on it. Now, let's take a closer look to what happens to the body biologically under a Western style high fat diet. In this study, two models of mouse, which is 2C, 2K1C, or SHR, which is basically the two models of hypertension in rats, they were fed by scientists. They were fed a very high fat diet for 6 weeks, just like the calorie dense diet that's becoming common in the urban Vietnam today. So after only 6 weeks, the rat shows alarming signs of organ damage. You can see from this table that I took right here, the heart, the heart rate of the SHR rats jumped from 0.23 to 0.32, and the liver rate here, which it increased roughly by 50%. These kind of structural changes are also being more often seen in Vietnamese hospitals, especially among young adults with hypertension and poor diets. This study helps us explain why and show how fast, in just 6 weeks, this effect can happen. So here's the big question. Is modernization costing us our health? Well, from what I saw from the previous studies and from the other definitions, what happened in rats just then is already happening in the Vietnamese people today. Urban areas are seeing high rates in hypertension and fatty liver disease due to alcoholic. More children and young adults are getting overweight, And these changes are being driven by the very same factors studied in that lab with the lab with the rat, the fatty acid meal. The rat the rat study isn't just an experiment. It's like a model of the Vietnamese public health future if we don't do something with it. So what can we do? First of all, I think, we should promote the traditional Vietnamese diet again, which is meal built around vegetables, fresh herbs, or lean meat, rice. Tools like my plates or the eating index that can be really helpful in help keep track the progress and guideline policies. And finally, public health campaign can raise awareness about the risks of processed food. Schools can educate children on healthy eating, if it's very small change, like even if it's a small change, like reducing the amount of sweet beverage consumption or cooking more meals at home rather than eating outside, can make a really big difference to it. Yeah, so that's all of my presentation. Thank you for listening.